So Tucker Carlson is under fire after Media Matters unearthed some audio from interviews he participated in with radio host Bubba the Love Sponge from back in 2006. Now, for one, strike one already. Really? Bubba the Love Sponge? Come on, man. Anyway, now in the audio, Carlson made a few comments that did not go over well and didn't age very well. Now, he was referring to a conversation on underage marriage. And during this conversation, he seemed to defend statutory rape. He said the same thing exactly as pulling a child from a bus stop and sexually assaulting that child. The rapist in this case has made a lifelong commitment to live and take care of the person, so it's a little different. So, child marriage, I mean, hey, at least you're going to take care of that person for the rest of your life, so it's okay, kind of. Really? Huh. No, it's actually not better. See, rape is still rape. If you marry a child, which you can't legally, and you have sex with her, you're a child rapist, you're a pedophile. Now, he also made a comment about his own daughter after the show host talked about sexual experimentation at boarding school. He said, if it weren't my daughter, I would love that scenario. Oh, so if it didn't affect me personally, well, then it's okay. Then it'd be kind of hot. But it's my daughter, so it would affect me personally. Oh, I'm against that. Well, I'm against that now. Carlson even called the charges against polygamist and husband of child brides, Warren Jeffs, BS. Because he said, arranging a marriage between a 16-year-old and the 27-year-old is not the same as pulling a stranger off the street and raping her. Yeah, but how is that first scenario at all okay? It's not. It's not. But you know what's weird here? So here's a guy that rails against Muslims and Sharia law, right? Oh, the Muslims are coming. Their Muslims are coming. And they're going to do Sharia law where they have child marriages. Oops. But child marriages are apparently fine, or at least not as bad, while you're talking to somebody called the Love Sponge. Okay, keep going with that. He also said, of course, some very misogynistic things about women. No surprise there. He called women primitive. He said, I mean, I love women, but they're extremely primitive. They're basic. They're not that hard to understand. And one of the things they hate more than anything is weakness in a man. What does that even mean? What primitive? I'm sorry, what? As opposed to what? As opposed to who? I don't know why anyone would make that argument. Oh man, she's so basic. She's so primitive. Okay. Now, again, these are some of the comments that he made while he was sitting in on a Shock-Jock radio show. So, of course, later on, he releases a statement in response that was non-apologetic. He said, Media Matters caught me saying something naughty on a radio show more than a decade ago. Rather than express the usual ritual contrition, how about this? I'm on television every weeknight live for an hour. If you want to know what I think, you can watch. Anyone who disagrees with my views is welcome to come on and explain why. Anyone except for that Dutch guy. You remember that guy? He was on an episode that didn't air because he immediately came out and challenged Tucker Carlson. Weird. But I love how he said, oh man, look, that's a decade ago. Who cares? Why don't you come on my show? Well, first you need to watch my show. Then you need to come on my show, and we'll have a debate. I am pretty sure he is not going to take anyone who right now on Twitter is offering to come on his show for a debate. I'm just saying. Now, what's funny is that the people that right now are defending Tucker Carlson on Twitter, you got people like Mike Cernovich, right? Paul Joseph Watson. These are the same guys that, part of the alt-right that would dig up something from the past, right? Now, right now, like on leftists, right? Now, right now, they're defending Tucker Carlson. How dare you dig up something from their past? When these are the same people that dug up things about Cenk Uygur, right? Now, look, Cenk Uygur made some terrible comments back when he was a conservative. And then they used it against him. That's ironic, right? And they also tried to do that to Sam Seder. Sam Seder once made a joke. So this is the right wing's playbook. And they've used it plenty of times against people that are critical of them. And they'll dig up some of the stuff that you said in the past, and then they'll attack them over it. And so it's a bit hypocritical for these conservatives now to defend Tucker Carlson over this whole thing. That said, the responses to this a statement, I guess, are fantastic. DB says, do you have to be a terrible person to work at Fox, or is it strongly encouraged? That's a good question. Jamil Smith said, Carlson's remark included offense of a child rapist. It wasn't just something naughty. He refuses to apologize, inviting detractors onto his show instead. But his puerile misogyny is not worth debating, especially for the titillation of his audience. And now one thing that Tucker Carlson loves to do on his show is to play the victim. The victim of, liberal elitism, and how dare you attack us, and we're the real victims here because conservatives are getting attacked from all angles. And they're always coming after us, the leftists, and they're dangerous. Again, the irony here. When, of course, conservatives, basically their love of freedom of speech, basically is them saying, I just want to say racist, misogynistic things in public without getting called out. That's my freedom of speech. Well, that kind of speech comes with consequences, not from the government, which is the whole point of actual freedom of speech, is that the government doesn't come after you. But it doesn't mean that fellow citizens can't come and set you straight. Just saying. That said, more responses. John Fugelsang says, I hope some of these newly uncovered tapes don't hurt Tucker with all his viewers who really respect women. Judd Legum says, Tucker Carlson is not sorry he defended Warren Jeffs, even though Jeffs is currently serving a life sentence for raping a 12-year-old girl. You want to defend that? Is that the hill you want to die on? Apparently, that's Tucker's hill. And again, here's the thing, right? So, on the topic of digging up things that people have said from the past, right? I think what matters most in this is, have you changed? Now, look, if Tucker Carlson said horrible things in the past, which he did, and then he comes out today and says, yeah, those were horrible. I hate that I said that. I completely denounce it. And everything I said, you guys who are criticizing me, you're absolutely right. I'll join in. I'll criticize myself for saying that. Okay. Then you know what? If you ask for, if you ask for forgiveness and you come out and say, after all that, okay, that's fair, right? Yes, people will likely forgive you. Again, with Cenk, he's a great example of that. He's like, I said some really boneheaded, misogynistic, terrible things in my youth. When I was a conservative, when I was not that kind of person. But guess what? I'm different now. I have said something different. I have come out and I have said that this, what I had said in the past is unacceptable. And I take it, responsibility for saying that stuff. But also, I am a different person. I have taken the opportunity to change and to become a better person and to treat women with respect. And Tucker Carlson has not done that. So, if you're somebody who has said different things in the past, terrible things in the past, and you change and you become a better person, then I think you should get forgiveness and you should get a second chance. Tucker Carlson, at this point, does not deserve a second chance because right now he stands by those things and then basically uses this entire outrage model to get more people to watch his ridiculous show. And so that's not just double downing. That's also trying to make an extra buck. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation. set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.